hello. I'm so glad that you are here with us today. Thank you. Thank you for choosing to get up this morning and get on this call. We are so excited that you choose to be part of this group and this opportunity. Today we are going to be talking about healthy relationships. Do you know, in our program here, it is our heart's desire to see each one of you thrive and to be so successful with life. And so one of the things that we want to do is give you tools to help you do that. In our life, one of the key factors that helps us to be able to thrive is actually to have healthy relationships and to know how to get out of unhealthy relationships. So that's something that on and off in different months in our class here that will come up, of things that work towards having a healthy relationship, but then things where that's a red flag, that's really unhealthy. We either need to address it, set a boundary, or we need to move on. And so today we are going to talk about some characteristics in our relationships so that we can see these are the things we want and these are the things we want to stay away from. In each one of us, when there is something that puts up a guard, like if we feel like we're all alone and we've just got to fight all our battles on our own, there's something in us that's always seeing things through the filter of having to defend ourselves or having to fight for ourselves. But when we have a healthy relationship where we know that someone has got our back, someone will listen, someone will be in the trenches with us, will cry with us, will celebrate with us, there's a certain peace that we're able to have inside of us when we know that at least one person, and maybe a couple people, they have our backs no matter what. And so this part is how, when we have a true healthy relationship, it helps us to get on the right road to thriving in life. So in just a minute, I'm going to ask Mr. Cyril to pause this video so that you can put some things in the chat. What I want you to think about are characteristics of a healthy relationship, and put some thought into what would you say if this is happening in a relationship, it's a healthy relationship. So the types of relationships that you can include, you could include your best friend, you could include a significant other, you could include in your thinking, you don't have to define it, you can include a healthy relationship with your parent, a grandparent, an auntie, an uncle, maybe a classmate or someone at work. It can be any of these types of relationships. So what I want you to think about and put it in the chat is a characteristic that you would say, I want to see this in a healthy relationship, or I look for this in a healthy relationship. So I'll just wait here while we pause, and you can go ahead and start putting it in the chat. Aspects of a healthy relationship. Go. Great job. We're so glad that you're able to interact and communicate with one another, even though we're all far away from one another. It's great that we have this technology so we can do this. So we've looked at aspects that we look for in healthy relationships, things that are good, things that we want to make sure we have so that we know someone has our back, so we know we will be heard, we will be celebrated, all of these things. So, but it's important to also be able to recognize what's unhealthy, because sometimes we're in relationships and we don't even realize that it's really unhealthy. So when you're thinking about this, it actually might be helpful if you think of some of your friends who you know they're in bad relationships or they have bad friendships with other people and you can recognize the red flags. I want you to think about those aspects, those characteristics that you can recognize in other people's relationships that are like, whoa, that's a red flag, that's not good, that's not healthy. And we're gonna pause again, and I want you to go ahead and put in the chat characteristics, things that you see, aspects in a relationship that are unhealthy, that are a red flag. Okay, go ahead. Great job. Now, Cyril, I sent you a list of some other characteristics if some of those got missed, now would be a good time to maybe have a conversation with adding some of these other characteristics that maybe some people didn't think about. So if you want to go ahead and pause it and maybe bring up some of these other characteristics that are on the list, now would be a good time. Great. So here we have two lists, pretty extensive lists of things that are healthy that we want to see in our relationships and things that are really unhealthy, red flags that either you need to address them, and if they don't get better, you need to set a boundary, or perhaps you need to just get out of that relationship altogether. Now, if it's a relationship with a family member, that's a little trickier, but at least set boundaries so that those red flags, those unhealthy behaviors aren't hurting you or holding you back or causing a bigger problem. So it's important to see these are good characteristics. These are the things we want to have healthy, thriving relationships. These are the bad things that we want to stay away from. But also, maybe if you have a quiet moment that you reflect on, do I do those bad things? Am I a red flag when I treat people like this or do these things? Because that might be something that you want to adjust in your own life. Because if you want good friends and you want healthy relationships, you also have to be a good friend and provide healthy relationships. So there might be some things even in the good list that you think, I could do a better job at that. I'm going to really try to be intentional about being that and having those characteristics in my friendships. So with that, as we wrap up, what I would like you to do, reflect on this week or over the next month, is the people in your life, the relationships that you have in your life. One, are they healthy? If they're not healthy, can we get them healthy? Or do we just need to set boundaries? Or do we need to just close that door completely? But the other thing is, we all need healthy relationships in our life. So I want you to be thinking about who that person is in your life. And for the students here on the call, I would recommend having a peer who's a good friend, but also having a grown-up in your life that you know has your back, that you know you can talk to, that's going to add wisdom when you talk to them about things. Because as much as our peers can understand us, they can lack some wisdom. And so to have a grown-up in your life, maybe it's a parent, a grandparent, an auntie, an uncle, or even a boss or a teacher, a grown-up in your life that you know has a lot of wisdom that will steer you in the right direction. So with that, we're going to wrap it up, and we will see you next time right here. Take care. God bless.